You hear that? That's the awkward silence of a family dinner after you just got caught vaping. Most vapes contain high levels of nicotine and disappointment. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I wanted to overall ask, the question and answer the question because, I'm starting to think about it a lot, especially with all the different video games that's been coming out, and they just come off as, unfinished video. Well, no, it doesn't come off. They are unfinished video games. If a video game is having to put out, numerous updates to fix stuff, yeah, the game is unfinished. So, anyways, I wanted to ask the question, are we video game testers? And then also answer the question. The reason why I'm saying, or asking the question in the first place is because I have played multiple video games in the past month, right? Multiple video games. There's this one racing game called Dakar Desert Rally, Gotham Knights, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. What are some other games that I've played and they've came off as unfinished? I mean, I can even think back on games from years ago, like Anthem, any EA, Madden. What else? Well, there is the one EA Madden. I don't know why I'm calling it EA Madden, but there is the one Madden game that I played, and I think it was Madden NFL 20. That game was 100% unfinished. I don't even know why they had decided to release that game, but oh my god, that was definitely the worst Madden that I have played of all time. But no, what are some other games? I mean, yeah, 2K, any game that has to come out with numerous updates time after time after time, yeah, the game ain't finished, bro. You obviously got issues that you guys need to handle, and it makes you wonder, who do you have developing these video games? Because the thing is this, I'd imagine that there's a lot of people out there, when they develop in a video game, yes, it can be hard, but my thing is this. If you go through school, right? You go through, let's just start all the way from the beginning. You go through, you're born into the world, right? All right. You go to preschool. I don't think you really necessarily pass preschool. You just go there just to go there. But eventually you get to elementary. You go and you don't really graduate. I don't know why graduate is only used for high school, but for this sake, I'm using it for all, times and periods in school and stuff. You graduate through elementary. You graduate through middle school. You definitely graduate through high school. You end up going to college. You get some degree and you graduate from college. Now you are working for 2K, EA, whatever these, developers are, right? You're working for these developers. Explain to me, how does it work where these developers, you guys get hired on and you have all of this, this, not talent, but you have all of this work in you to develop whatever video game is coming out just to release a video game that's gonna get 1 star, riddled with bugs. What are some other issues? Gonna crash every single time you do a certain mission and stuff. It's things like that where I'm like, fam, you guys should be testing this out, because that's like a chef putting out some food, but they don't test the food out. So it's how do you know that food is going to be good or not? If you sit down and watch Gordon Ramsay videos, because believe me, in the past, not even, no, before the pandemic, I have been watching Gordon Ramsay videos, I have to say, for maybe 2-3 years now, right? So, one thing that I had picked up from his TV show, Hell's Kitchen, is that they have to test out the food when eating it. Because if they put the food out, food's gonna get, the food may be cold, it may be raw, the food may be overcooked. There could be a lot of issues wrong with that food. So, that's one thing that I have picked up from his show. It's when Gordon Ramsay, he'll go and be like prepping the food and stuff, and he'll take like a little quick bite of it, and it's all like, wait a second, this is overcooked. This ain't to this person's standard. They wanted this like at whatever they want, well done or medium rare or whatever the situation is, and they'll hand him some food that's raw. So that's what it's like, fam. Are you like testing this out? Are you seeing? And it's like now getting back to the video game talk, because I'm like, when my thing is this. You know, a lot of the times, like if I'm putting out a podcast episode, if I'm putting out a YouTube video, yeah, there are at times where it's like, if I know that there ain't gonna be no issues with it, then fam, I put the thing out. But if I know it's gonna have issues, like for an example, if let's say if I were to put out a podcast episode, but I have a crappy microphone, I'm gonna go out and get me a good microphone. I'm gonna make sure a microphone works, all that stuff before I get the recording. So Overall, what I am saying is that if it's a computer issue, fam, get you some better computers. Because I'm trying to sit down and figure out what could possibly be going on at these like developer headquarters, you know, wherever and stuff, to where you guys will promote like, oh, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 available now, pre-order, play campaign early, play beta right now, do all these other different things. Just the whole reason of you guys releasing beta was, you know, like, I guess, yes, for us to test it out, and then to eventually, you know, right back to you guys saying, hey, there's this bug, blah blah blah. But you still put out the game, like, because honestly, I don't notice any difference. I feel like I'm playing a much more worse game than when I played during beta. Beta seemed like it was more funner than what Call of Duty is right now. So like that, it confuses me, because I'm like, what happened in that time frame from beta all the way up until now? Like, I don't get that, because, no, it was, what was it, last night? No, it wasn't was it last night? I can't even remember, but anyways, so I'm playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and, no, I don't think it was last night, I think it was a couple of nights ago, but anyways, regardless of whenever it was, so anyways, I'm playing Call of Duty, right, playing co-op. I get through all of the objectives, right? I get through all of the objectives, yeah, I'd said that I'm playing co-op and things, whatever, so anyways, playing it, complete all the objectives. They have this part where you got, I guess you're either I think you gotta drive a car into this plane. I get right on that runway heading towards the plane, game freezes, shuts me down, don't even get to complete the mission. It didn't even count as a completion because I hadn't even drove like to the plane yet. So how am I supposed to react to that? You know, like, because I know people are going to be all like, oh, well, they're trying their hardest. No. My thing is this. Trying their hardest is going to put out a good game. Imagine, like, literally, everybody went through this when they were at some point in time in school. If you are doing a test and you fail that test, and you talking about, oh, well, I tried my hardest. It's like, obviously, you ain't tried that hard, bro. If you failed, it's like, yeah, you might tried your hardest, but it's like, you mean to tell me you ain't got one answer right? And so do you think that you're going to graduate? Because honestly, that's how video games need to be. They need to be in some graduation, or some like school rules and stuff. Like, if you turn in an incomplete game, bro, you're gonna get an incomplete, which means is that you gonna have to go back some steps, you know, to figure out okay, like, how can we, you know, level, you know, well, yeah, now using video game terms, how can we level up? How can we, because in my opinion, Call of Duty, 2K, what are some other games out there that be having bad ratings every time they get released and stuff? Whatever the games are, it's like you guys are D-ranking tremendously bad, horribly bad, bro. And I'm like, bro, my thing is this. If I know I'm putting it, you know, if I know I'm putting out a video game, I'll make sure it works. What's crazy is that there can be developers that just started developing a video game maybe a year, 2 years ago. You know, like, you'll see where some games get released for the first time, you know, by whoever and whatever and stuff. And they put out a good game. Like, there's a couple of games I remember, you know, playing, like, in the past, like, you know, in the past year I've been a streamer and stuff, or been taking streaming seriously. But there was the one called Power Wash Simulator, and then there was this other Planet game. I haven't played that in a while, but there's this Planet game called Planet Crafter. Both of those games were like my go-to games to play because no, there's like these bigger titles like, Call of Duty and all this other stuff where they're not built properly. They're not working properly. They're not, good. And so it's like, how am I supposed to play this game? Or how am I even supposed to support this game if the game don't even work properly? Like, come on, bro. Like, my thing is this. It's you people, I'm gonna just say this, and this may offend some developers, but you guys should not be charging full price for a video game and it's only halfway completed. And we gotta wait until like 6-7 months from now for the video. Because no, what's crazy is that this is, for those that don't really be playing video games and you don't fully understand what I'm talking about. So they will put, because I'm like, people are probably like, what do you mean they're only putting out like half of a video game? What you mean by that? Like, you're playing it, right? So here's the thing. We're playing it, but the game is riddled with bugs. Meaning that the game is going to be glitching. Everybody's going to be having a bunch of different issues. Like, one person may have like a screen flickering issue. Another person might have like a gun issue or control issue where it's like, their gun isn't shooting properly. Another person may have like a menu issue. Another person may have it where their game just crashes and they can't even play the video game. But what's messed up is what they did and they most likely knew that people probably would have been trying to get their money back and stuff for the game. So what they did was release the game a week early. And I know now not to make this mistake. But so what they did was they released the video game early. A week early, had it where people played campaign. They didn't put out the full game. They just said, no, we're going to have it where you play campaign, and then next week you could play multiplayer and all that stuff. So what they did was they released campaign. We played it. And so Steam and how all that stuff works, well, more so like on PC and things, not like on console. I don't know how it works on console. But they have it where it's like when you had the game for more than 2 weeks and then you played the game for more than 2 hours, then you can no longer get a refund for your video game. So I had played for, more than 2 hours. It wasn't like, I don't think it's not even possible to complete the campaign in less than 2 hours unless you are running through that map full speed. Like, and the thing is this, your character, he is running slow. Like, you'll see where all the other characters is running faster than your character, but your character is running slow. So it ain't like he got like some like Sonic the Hedgehog type speed. No, he's like, I'm gonna demonstrate one of these days like how you running and stuff in MW2 because he is running slow. But so anyways, I exceeded beyond the 2 hours. Then when the game fully released, I go and try to play Spec Ops, which is it's like a co-op mode in there where you have like one other teammate, but you're going up against like a wave of enemies or whatever. So anyways, playing it, the mouse was having this like bug issue to where it wasn't connecting with my character. So the mouse is just going crazy and stuff. And it's like my character, the only movement that he can do was the walking movement. So I couldn't play that game. Afterwards, it started working. But then I went to go play Spec Ops again. It crashed on me. And then multiplayer, I'm hearing people, they're saying multiplayer didn't crash for them. But you charged people over $70 for this game. And I'm supposed to be all like, oh, well, that seems fair. I mean, you did let me play the game a week early. You did, like, no, bruh, I don't care for playing the game. I know next year when they come out with a Call of Duty and they talking about, pre-order and play campaign and all this other stuff. No. I'm like, unless you guys are releasing the full game a week early, that'll be the only way I'll buy the game. But I'm not going to buy the game a week before, and I'm only gonna be playing one thing. I'm like, cause otherwise, and it's funny because campaign wasn't glitching, it wasn't buggy, nothing wasn't wrong with it. It was multiplayer and Spec Ops that had the majority of the issues. So it's like, because that's, you gotta ask yourself that question. It's like, hey, how come you guys didn't release the full game a week early? The game, from what it sounds like, the game was ready. But it was like, fam, it wasn't. So what I honestly think was that Modern Warfare 2 was never ready. It was never ready. Campaign was ready, so they released campaign. Tested the waters with that, and was all like seeing like, oh, people are gonna like that. People wasn't really liking it. I mean, there's people out there that don't really particularly care for campaign modes. I like them, so like when I seen that they were releasing it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's chill, that's cool. I'm play campaign because I like the Call of Duty campaigns and stuff. So. Yeah, it was like, but overall, like, they released that because they knew that that wasn't going to have any issues. That's not going to have, like, no server issues or any of that. You're playing offline. So anyways, but yeah, when it came to that online stuff, and honestly, what I think that it is like, you don't have a team focused on each console. You got one team trying to do a bunch of stuff on each. You got a team focused on PC. You got a team, what they need is a team focused on PC, a team focused on Xbox, and a team focused on PlayStation. But when you have a team focused on all consoles, and overall, it's like, you can't focus on all consoles. I know that you can't focus on. That's like, because, no, the reason why I say that is like, imagine being at school and your teachers gave you all of your homework right then and there, and you have until tomorrow to complete all of that homework. You're not going to be able to complete all of that homework by that day. Especially because, like, okay, so let's say you got 7 classes, you got math, science, all this other stuff, and all that. You're going to mess up on some parts. So my thing is this, rather than like giving me this short deadline, if they were to be all like, okay, here's the homework, take all the time that you need to complete this homework, okay? Take all the time that you need. There ain't gonna be no consequences, there ain't gonna be no repercussions, any of that stuff. All you need to do is just complete it. You can use all the resources. You can use whatever you need to use to learn how to get better at whatever subject that you got homework for, right? So like PE is like, okay, you got to do 20 sit-ups. Okay, each and every day I'm going to work on doing 20 sit-ups. Boom, did 20 sit-ups. Math, they're all like, you got to solve these 20 math problems. Okay, I'm going to start off with the easiest, work my way up. Boom, done with math. Reading, oh, you got to read this book. Okay, going to read each page. Boom, read the book. Science, you got to figure out what kind of rock this is. Okay, gonna, start from, the beginning, look all the way. Okay, that's that rock. So you see how that, rather than being like, okay, we're just gonna guess, and then, then when came time to turning that stuff in, then it's like, fam, this, what is this? This ain't right. So yeah, that's why you're gonna end up getting like a 1 out of whatever, the number is and things, and you ain't gonna get the satisfying number that you want, 100 out of 100, 10 out of 10, or But overall, it's like, but that's what I mean by, it's like, that's what developers need to be like. Go back to your school days. Don't go and release a game and then the game ain't even working properly, because it's like, you're gonna have a lot of upset fans out there. What Call of Duty, that game got a mixed review rating. I think when I last checked NBA 2K, that game had like I think it was mostly negative. Let me check real quick what NBA 2K has. NBA 2K23 Steam. And he talking about save 33%. Oh, it's mixed now. They must have came out with some updates to no, they haven't even came out with no updates. It probably just it's a lot of negatives. Yeah, it's a lot of negatives. I had to say it probably just recently went to mix, but yeah, I think it was like a lot of negatives at first, but anyways, let's not forget the one game. It was actually one of my friends, he brought that up in my stream yesterday, but there's this one video game called Anthem that EA released. EA, I swear, they are known for releasing incomplete games. Anthem was extremely incomplete. Oh my god, that game, I think I was only able to play it like maybe a few times. And then eventually the game just died off and stuff. And then it was like, ain't nobody playing this and things. But yeah, that game, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And it's like, EA, it's like a lot of these developers, they need to get held accountable for when they release these games, and it's like they're not even complete and stuff. It's like, well, we shouldn't, be paying you guys full price for a game that's not even completed. It's like, fam, what sense does that make? Imagine, because no, let the roles be reversed, right? Where it's like they put out the game, but we're like, oh, well, we're only going to give you half the money, but we want to play the full game. Imagine these developers. Oh, there probably would be a developer with his podcast called the EA Game Show, and he's saying the same thing I'm saying, but in the opposite direction. Like, I guarantee and I promise you, that's how it would be and stuff. So, yeah, that's why I'm like, I just think that, these developers, it's like, it's gonna get to a point in time where things get really scarce and really bad for a lot of these developers. And yeah, they ain't gonna have no choice but to start really working on these games and start releasing games like how, because no, I feel like in this day and age, developers don't care about gamers. Back then, like when you look at like the games that were, you had one time and one time only to release that game. If that game had bugs, problems, any of that stuff, that company they're gonna shut down. But if you think back on like the Xbox, the original Xbox, PlayStation 2, GameCube, any Nintendo device, any of those things that, they didn't have all that online stuff and things, you had one time to release it. You messed up, over with. It's like, nah, it's you overall. It's like you gonna it ain't gonna be good for you and stuff when it comes to like trying to satisfy fans. Them fans is not gonna be, because you look at like all the like Madden games that were releasing, like Madden NFL 07. That game was freaking probably one of the best Madden games to ever come out. Now look where Madden is at. It's like sad, man. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.